Troops from China's Coast Guard boarded a Taiwanese tourist boat in the Taiwan Strait yesterday. The Taiwanese vessel was carrying over 30 passengers when it was intercepted by two Chinese boats. The Chinese troops deboarded the Taiwanese boat after 30 minutes. The incident comes as relations between Taiwan and China remain unstable. Last week, two Chinese nationals were killed when their speedboat overturned as they were trying to flee a Taiwanese Coast Guard ship. The Israeli military has released footage of a hostage mother and her two children. The video reportedly shows the hostages being moved by Hamas fighters in Gaza. Israel's defense minister says the offensive in Gaza will go on until the hostages are released. Meanwhile, Israeli protesters clashed with police officials in the city of Jerusalem. Thousands of people took part in demonstrations against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. The protesters demanded that Netanyahu do more to rescue the hostages. Israel says Hamas still has over 130 hostages with them. Israeli warplanes carried out two airstrikes in Lebanon last night. At least 14 people suffered injuries as bombs hit the port city of Sidon. Israel claims it struck an operational command post used by the Hezbollah group. Israel also says it struck a Hezbollah ammunition depot as part of the strike. The Yemen-based Houthi rebel group has struck 3 different cargo vessels in the Red Sea. They include 2 US-based ships and 1 registered in the UK. The Houthis claim that the ship registered in the UK, called Rubimar, has been damaged extensively and is on the verge of sinking. US-led allied forces say Rubimar was already abandoned by the time they reached the ship. Meanwhile, the Houthis claim to have shot down an American military drone over the Red Sea last night. The Yemen-based group released footage of the drone's damaged body, saying it was an MQ-9 Reaper drone. The Pentagon has confirmed that a US military plane crashed into the Red Sea. However, American officials say they are still investigating the cause of the crash. The United Nations will begin internal consultations for appointing an envoy to engage with Afghanistan's Taliban regime. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said it is important for Afghanistan to engage with the international community. Guterres has also extended an invite to the Taliban to meet international envoys in a neutral country. This comes after Taliban representatives failed to attend a UN-led conference regarding peace in Afghanistan, which was held in Qatar. Hundreds of Nigerians took to the streets to voice their anger with the country's economic situation. Thousands participated in a rally holding banners accusing the government of implementing flawed economic policies. The latest figures state that last month, Nigeria's inflation was at 30% compared to a year ago. These are the highest figures for inflation in the West African nation since 1996. Hundreds of trainee doctors walked out in protest in the South Korean capital of Seoul. Members of the doctors' union submitted their resignation in unison as they walked off. The union is protesting the South Korean government's plan to increase medical school quotas. Seoul wants to increase medical school admissions by at least 2,000 seats by next year. Doctors and medical students say there are already sufficient professionals and an increase will be a burden on the National Health Insurance Plan. Australia has announced that it will invest $7.25 billion over the next decade on defense. The country's navy will be given the largest chunk of funding for the acquisition of surface combat vessels. Australia looks to expand its naval fleet from 11 to 26 ships. This will be the country's largest fleet size since World War II. Canada will donate 800 drones to Ukraine to help in its ongoing war with Russia. The Sky Ranger multi-mission drones will be delivered to Kyiv in the next 2 months. The cost of the 800 quadcopters is estimated to be around $70 million. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has embarked on a tour of Latin America. Lavrov met Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel yesterday. The Russian FM will next visit Venezuela and Brazil. Lavrov is slated to meet Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. A Haitian court has charged some 50 people in connection with the assassination of former President Jovenel Moïse, who was killed in 2021. Moïse's widow and Haiti's former Prime Minister are among those charged by the court. The judge has ordered the arrest of the people charged. President Moïse was shot dead when armed men broke into his house in 2021. The attack had also left the former First Lady injured. Firefighters battled massive flames in the American city of Philadelphia yesterday. The blaze engulfed at least 2 residential buildings. First responders say that all residents were accounted for and that there were no injuries. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Moving to climate news, a massive landslide in eastern Afghanistan has killed at least 25 people. The incident took place in a village in the Nuristan province. Taliban officials say that more than 24 houses were destroyed in the disaster. The landslide was triggered by heavy rain and snowfall that are still ongoing. Residents in India's capital, New Delhi, woke up to light rainfall and a drop in temperatures today. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted more showers for Delhi until tomorrow. Meanwhile, the neighboring states of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh are likely to witness thunderstorms. India's weather department has predicted heavy snowfall for Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The U.S. state of California is preparing for floods after receiving heavy rainfall yesterday. A flash flood warning has been put in place for Los Angeles, Ventura and Santa Barbara till tomorrow. The U.S. National Weather Service has also warned of heavy snowfall and strong winds. The U.S. state of Hawaii has proposed a $25 climate tax on tourists. Lawmakers say the tax will pay to protect beaches and prevent wildfires. Hawaii's governor expects the tax to raise $68 million annually for the state. However, some legislators think that it may violate America's constitutional protections for free travel. Hawaii gets around 10 million visitors every year. The Italian city of Milan has become the world's 3rd most polluted city after China's Chengdu and Bangladesh's Dhaka. This is according to data shared by Swiss website IQ Air. Last year, the Italian city largely exceeded the annual pollution limits recommended by the World Health Organization. Milan's mayor says air pollution in northern Italy remains severe due to diesel cars and industrial farming. Cambodia is looking to import 4 tigers from India this year. This is being done to revive the big cat's population. The tigers would be sent to a 90-hectare forest in the Tatai Wildlife Sanctuary. The population of Cambodia's native tigers fell due to deforestation and poaching. The last sighting of a tiger in the Southeast Asian nation was in 2007. Moving to business and tech news, today China's central bank has sharply decreased interest rates for its national banks. The interest rates have been reduced by 0.25%. These rates are used by banks to determine mortgages on houses in the country. This is the largest rate cut since 2019. The move aims to boost consumer demand in China's struggling property market. Germany's economy will likely see a recession. This is according to the German central bank, Deutsche Bundesbank. The Bundesbank has said that the country's GDP will likely decline in the ongoing first quarter of 2024. This would be the 2nd consecutive quarter after Q4 2023. The German economy has been struggling since the Russia-Ukraine war, when the country abandoned the use of cheap Russian gas supplies to power the country. Chipmaker Global Foundries has been awarded a $1.5 billion subsidy by the U.S. government. This comes as the country ramps up its efforts to boost domestic semiconductor production. Global Foundries is building a new chip manufacturing facility in New York. The firm is also expanding its existing operations in the state of Vermont. U.S. bank Capital One has announced plans to buy credit card issuer Discover. The acquisition deal has been valued at over $35 billion. With this deal, Capital One plans to compete with Visa and MasterCard for the global credit card market. Capital One is a bank backed by billionaire investor Warren Buffett. India's Jindal Steelworks is reportedly in talks to acquire a 20% stake in Australia's Blackwater coal mine. The deal has been valued somewhere between $750 million to $1 billion. The mine is in the Australian state of Queensland. The Blackwater mine is one of the largest coal producers in Australia. An Australian competition tribunal has approved the takeover of Suncorp Bank by the ANZ Group. Last year, the $3.2 billion deal was blocked by the country's competition regulator. It cited deteriorating competition in the banking sector for not allowing the takeover. Today, the tribunal's order said that the deal was unlikely to substantially reduce competition. Japan is reportedly set to take action against automobile giant Toyota. This is after the firm was caught lying in engine emission tests. The Japanese government may revoke certifications that are needed for Toyota to mass-produce some engines. Last year, Toyota admitted that it falsified emissions data for its forklift and other industrial engines. Chinese electric car maker XPeng is planning to hire 4,000 workers in 2024. The company has also announced a plan to invest over $400 million in artificial intelligence research. XPeng has said that the move is aimed at surviving competition in China, the world's largest auto market. The firm is planning to launch around 30 new products within the next 3 years. The European Union has launched an investigation into TikTok for violating the bloc's online content law. The platform is being probed under rules aimed at protecting children from social media addiction. If it is found guilty, TikTok may be fined up to 6% of its global turnover. Microsoft will invest over $2.1 billion in Spain. This will be used to expand the firm's artificial intelligence and cloud infrastructure in the country. Last week, the US tech giant had announced a $3.2 billion investment plan for Germany. Tech firms like Microsoft, Alphabet, and Apple have recently ramped up investments in AI. Moving to sports. In cricket, Sri Lanka beat Afghanistan by 72 runs in the second T20 international. All-rounder Angelo Matthews struck 42 runs off 22 balls. He also took 2 wickets to guide Sri Lanka towards the win. The third T20 international will take place on February 21st in Dambulla. Afghanistan have lost all 3 one-day internationals and a one-off test in their ongoing tour of Sri Lanka. Reports say that Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah will likely be rested for the 4th test against England. It's being reported that Bumrah won't fly to Ranchi, where the 4th test is going to be held. The decision to give him a break was made to help him manage his workload. Bumrah's participation in the final match will be decided based on the outcome of the 4th test. Former England captain Michael Vaughan has slammed the side's baseball approach. India handed England a clinical defeat in the 3rd test to secure a record win. Vaughan questioned England's attitude. Vaughan said that the England team is more focused on saving test cricket than on winning. In football, Lionel Messi took to the Chinese social media platform Weibo to clarify rumors about his recent Hong Kong no-show that triggered an outrage. In the video, Messi said that his absence wasn't due to political reasons. He repeated that the reason for his non-appearance was an injury. A Turkish football player was fired for using the dating app Tinder. 21-year-old Emirhan Delibas played for the Turkish club Besiktas. The club found the footballer's profile on Tinder, where he wrote that his age was 24. Besiktas then terminated the footballer's contract with immediate effect. In tennis, former number 1 Victoria Azarenka beat her Dutch opponent Aranska Rus 6-2, 6-4 in straight sets at the Dubai Open. Azarenka has now advanced to the round of 32 to set up a clash against 4th seed Elina Rybakina. Meanwhile, the other top seeds, Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Świątek, have all received first buys. Argentina's Facundo Diaz-Acosta has won his first ATP singles title yesterday. He beat Chile's Nicolas Jarry 6-3, 6-4 in the final of the Argentina Open. Acosta began the tournament with a career-high ranking of 87. He will now jump to the number 59 when the new rankings are out. In hockey, the Indian men's team beat Spain in yesterday's FIH Pro League match. The match ended at 2-2 in regular time. India then beat Spain 8-7 in a penalty shootout. India's next match is against the Netherlands tomorrow. India have secured their first quota in equestrian competitions for the Paris Olympics 2024. Anush Agarwala obtained it in the dressage category. It's an event where the horse displays its gymnastic abilities and discipline. Agarwala's quota does not mean he is guaranteed a spot in the Olympics. He will only be allowed to compete once India approves his name for the Paris Games. Formula One and its governing body, the FIA, have released a statement. This is regarding the ongoing investigation into Red Bull's boss, Christian Horner. It's the first time that F1 has commented on the matter since Red Bull launched a probe on the 5th of February. F1's statement reads, and I quote, "The FIA remains committed to upholding the highest standards of integrity, fairness and inclusivity within the sport." Horner denies all the allegations of inappropriate behavior made by a female colleague. On to the world of entertainment. The 49th People's Choice Awards took place yesterday. Greta Gerwig's Barbie won almost all the leading awards in the film categories. Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie received the awards for Male and Female Movie Star of the Year. Jenna Ortega won the Drama Movie Star of the Year award for her role in Scream 6. Cillian Murphy star Oppenheimer won the award for Drama Movie of the Year. In the People's Choice Awards television categories, Grey's Anatomy became the show of the year. Only Murders in the Building was selected as the comedy show of the year. In music, South Korean singer Jungkook won Male Artist of the Year. Beyoncé was bestowed with the R&B Artist of the Year award. Taylor Swift took home the Female Artist of the Year and Pop Artist of the Year titles. And Kansas City Chiefs player Travis Kelce won Athlete of the Year. A documentary on former tennis player Roger Federer is in production. It'll be helmed by Oscar-winning director Asif Kapadia. The documentary will revolve around the last 12 days of Federer's professional tennis career. It's expected to capture the most vulnerable and candid moments of the tennis player's life. The documentary will stream on Amazon Prime Video. The Irish rock band U2 honored the memory of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny during their Las Vegas concert. The band chanted Navalny's name while on stage. U2 also encouraged the crowd to chant with them. Navalny reportedly died in a Russian prison on the 16th of February. During a concert in Seattle, the Queen of Pop Madonna was knocked off her perch. She fell from her chair when one of her crew members tripped. However, Madonna recovered from the incident within seconds and continued with her show. American actor and singer Vanessa Williams will play the role of Miranda Priestley in the upcoming The Devil Wears Prada musical. It is based on the best-selling novel and hit film. The musical will feature the works of Grammy and Emmy winner Elton John. The Devil Wears Prada musical will open in London in October. The most loved villain of the Deadpool franchise might be coming back. Actor Josh Brolin, who played the role of Cable in Deadpool 2, hinted at his return in the next movie. Brolin said he may be reprising the role of the time-traveling cybernetic soldier. Deadpool and Wolverine will release on the 26th of July. Apple TV Plus announced that Masters of the Air debuted with the most number of viewers of any of its shows. The viewership jumped to 65% across the world when the series launched. The show is about America's 100th bomb group, which conducted raids over Nazi Germany. Masters of the Air features actors like Austin Butler, Barry Keoghan, and Nate Mann. Streaming giant Netflix has decided to expand its Pokemon Concierge series. The show's director confirms that new episodes are currently in production. The series follows the life of several Pokemon living on a resort. The first 4 episodes premiered on the 28th of December last year. Meanwhile, Netflix released the trailer of Shirley. It's the story of Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected to the US Congress. The film will also feature her trailblazing 1972 presidential campaign. Regina King plays the lead in the story, alongside actors such as Lance Reddick, Lucas Hedges, and Terrence Howard.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.